Gentle spirits of the past. Somebody's doing the wrong note.
What would you say to Demi?
I don't know her either, and so I wouldn't say anything to her. And then she should come up, introduce herself to me, say, here's my opinion. What do you think about it? That's how you handle okay? Yeah.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Mythology. I'm back with the new episode of Mythology Monday. Doing a spin around the zodiac circle one more time. It's Aries Reloaded episode. If you're new here, my name's Dom. I do a lot of makeup tutorial videos while I tell you a story, and then also I do social political commentary. I'm trying to get back on top of. But yeah, just make sure if you want to enjoy my content, make sure you like this video, share with your friends, subscribe. Leave a comment about what you find most interesting, and if you're an Aries placement, especially if Aries is in your big six. And we're just gonna get started right now. So I'm already prepping my face, as you can see. A lot of my time I was recording, I didn't have my mic on, so a lot of it's gonna be voiceover, but I'm gonna have fun anyways. So let's begin with Aries. It's the first sign of the zodiac. Aries season takes place between March 21st and April 19th. I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the cardinal fire sign of the zodiac. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are all considered cardinal signs, derived from Latin cardinis, which means principal or pivotal. Cardinal signs are the beginning of each season, and they are dynamic trendsetters and goal-getters. Cardinal fire, Aries, is a catalyst and a firebrand that inspires others to be totally committed to their own vision. Cardinal fire is a very raw force, and it's sometimes so powerful it tends to cause some blowback. Now, Aries is the first fire sign of the zodiac, and then is going to be followed by Leo and Sagittarius. Fire signs are passionate, spontaneous, and bold. These signs are always able to light a fire under others. In astrology, Aries rules the head. Which explains their self-determination and head strength.
And we're starting a new segment where your elements are going to be represented by iconic trios from pop culture. So, the pop culture trio for the fire signs is
Charlie's Angels. Choice number 1. The unholy trinity of Glee is choice number 2. For element trios, choice number 3 is going to be the Powerpuff Girls. Dun, 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 dun. Last choice is going to be the Harry Potter Golden Trio, Ron, Harry, and Hermione. Off to save these from Baltimore. Yep, who is it?
the unholy trinity of Glee. This trio for obvious reasons. Our Aries queen of this episode is Miss Quinn Fabray, who has had Cheerio in charge. She ruled the halls of McKinley High as well as rocking the world at Yale University. And she shows the whole world her confidence with her Kourtney Kardashian-esque style and humor. Check her out.
God bless the pair that invented these. Moment I wake up,
Listen here, Treasure Trail. We're about to have a smackdown.
I don't want to have a confrontation.
No, she's not gonna tell anybody.
I'm right. I'm smart.
You did this to me. You told Coach Sylvester about my summer surgery.
You have a surgery when you get your appendix out. You got a boob job.
Yep, sure did.
You can't hit me.
Well, sure I can, unless you got yourself knocked up again, slut.
Walk away and tighten up your body before you get to class!
The only way you're gonna win sectionals is if Marley's at her best. And if you keep distracting her, she's not going to be. The judges. And don't be afraid to give them, or maybe even a wink. You're reminding them of their youth and what might have been.
Aries means ram in Latin. And something I should learn the first time around is that a ram is a male sheep. And then female sheep are called ewes. That's what they're called. Now, it's interesting that, like, the word for the animal ram is not the same across my languages, but a lot of words refer to battering rams as arietes. In both Portuguese and Spanish are arietes for like a battering ram. The rest of the words are like muchin or carnicero for like an actual ram. That's an animal that Aries actually is. So it's interesting. They use the Aries prefix for like battering rams. So it's more about that astrology being headstrong. Now the ram has had, well, the ram and the ewe has had an important significance in many cultures throughout mankind's history, or humankind's history, however you want to say that. The ram is a symbol of fertility, virality, and the renewal of the life force. In the nation of Sumer, there was a cylinder
that was seal dated around approximately 3,500 BC. The cylinder shows two rams standing on a mount.
Arises a serpent. Between the rams is a flower. And standing on their backs is an eagle. Anyone's not entirely sure to what all this means, but kind of the drama playing out on this on the cylinder is meant to represent the cycle of life and death, and how life is renewed through death. basically the rams look like they're about to eat the flower. It looks like the serpent's about to bite the rams. It's happening while the eagle is like prancing from above. The ram and the uwe worked in harmony. And they worked in harmony with each other, as well as the natural cycles of life in service to female fertility, male virality, and basically the rebirth of the self. In Babylonian tradition, the Aries constellation was referred to as the hired man that became the Babylonian figure of the ram. The significance of the hired man relies on the identity of man and sheep to show the barely harvester, barely like the wheat, barely harvest, and the firstborn lamb of spring. The newborn lamb is a symbol of rebirth that occurs in the spring. Interesting. In Egypt, Aries is associated with Amun and his consort, Amunet, who together represent the life force of the universe. The pyramid texts describe Amun as the primeval creator and symbol of creative power. Amun and Amet has a dual nature that embodies the masculine and feminine sides of creation. During the New Kingdom, Amun was combined with the sun god Ra, becoming Amun-Ra, which is usually described with the ram's head. Amun-Ra was represented fertility and responsible for the regeneration of life. The start of the year in the spring. Interesting connection in Vedic astrology. Aries is Mesha, which means ram sheep. Mesha is also called Aja, which means the unborn or the unmanifested potential life coming into existence. And then Masha is creative energy and future possibilities and life force. In Greece, Amun-Ra was linked with Zeus, the king of gods, fuckboy Zeus for obvious reasons. In the first Aries video, we described the golden ram that rescued Pharynx and Hail. That is Aries, according to the Greeks, but also the prequel to that story is that of Jason, another white boy, and the Argonauts. Jason was the son of Aeson, king of Aeolus. Aeson was despised by Peleus, his half-brother, who feared that Jason would usurp him. So Peleus decided to give Jason an impossible task, which is to go and recover the golden fleece from the ram of Colochis, guarded by a dragon. So he assembled this band of people with the boat, the Argo, and the crew being the Argonauts. Jason and the Argonauts overcame the obstacles to arrive to Colochis, and were able to safely retrieve the golden fleece. And the story is kind of about overcoming oppression and finding oneself in values. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of war, aggression, and passion in astrology. Your Mars sign is how you handle conflict and like how you handle your passion. Aries' challenge in life is mastering their fighting spirit and channeling the source of energy to something positive towards growth. Aries was the first house of astrology, which represents the self, governs self-image, sense of self, and the image we project to others. The rules are, it's all about beginning and first. The main part about Aries is about self-mastery, about gaining control of the ego and its ending desires. It's immense power of the ego can be wielded to the service of life. Otherwise, it could lead to the downfall of one, leading themselves to a path of self-destruction. So remember to channel your inner Aries and wield the power of your ego and master the self. Become one with the self. Love thyself, which I think is kind of the most fascinating thing about Aries. But the main thing that separates them from Leo is that they are very focused on themselves. Self first. So this is the final look for Aries. I think it's so fascinating too that like all the signs have like sister signs, and Aries' sister sign is Libra. And I feel like the colors are so close. It's pink and red, which obviously pink is just like red with white in it. So it's kind of just interesting because the Aries sits ahead, and so Aries is independence, while pink Libra is interdependence, and it's like yin and yang, and they come together. So cool. But now we talked about that. We're going to talk about the main traits that you have if you have Aries in your big six. Fire! So if you have Aries in your big six, so big six being sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, Mercury sign, Mars sign, and Venus sign. If you have any in your big six, these are explaining to you why you have these traits. So negative traits of the Aries big six can be pretty reckless. Well, as you can see with Mariah Carey, can be impatient, intolerant, short-tempered, a little bit selfish, very much focused on themselves for sure. Attention or validation seeking, and also they say too competitive. Yeah. Mariah Carey clip was hilarious. I mean, not to be like competitive, but like, I'm the best girly of the pop girly.
I don't want to say this in a way that sounds at all diva-ish or anything of that nature or competitive. No, but it just beat all the other females' records. Well, because you're the best. But I love them, and they love me.
It's like, girl, yeah, mama, yeah, okay. But good traits about being an Aries, having Aries in your top six. You're ambitious, you are honest, self-assertive, brave, creative. You're able to organize people really well, and Aries people tend to be very optimistic. So it's like there's ups and downs to everything. So I think it's really cool. I feel like it's interesting, just like this idea of rebirth and like we're beating the cycle again. We're starting as like newborn babies, going back to on the zodiac, back again to Pisces, which is like our death and olderness. But I don't know, I just like this Aries season of like rebirth me, because here in this it's a spring, so it's getting warmer, so a lot of us are coming out of our seasonal affective depression. Let me know what it's like being Aries season and wherever you're at in the world. And please go ahead, like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe. Please let me know if you're an Aries sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars. I don't have any Aries placements myself, but I want to know about y'all, and I just want to get some more of that Aries energy. So I feel like I feel it without this red, though. This red is really making me feel like powerful. But that's all I have for you today, guys. Down below, and I love you. Have a great rest of your Aries season.